So you just held your second Cobra in 2 days. Is that a sign of how worried you are about the situation?
The Cobra meeting was to coordinate our response to the disorder, and I made it very clear on a number of occasions that those involved will feel the full force of the law. So we coordinated, we went through some of the numbers. Over 400 people now have been arrested, 100 have been charged, some in relation to online activity, and a number of them are already in court.
Look, Elon, if you don't delete those ex-posts, I'll have no choice but to label you a far-right thug.
That's not too bad. I was expecting worse.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes me sound badass. Elon the far-right thug. Yeah, I kind of like it, to be honest.
What do you mean? Being called a far-right thug is possibly the worst thing you can be called in this day and age.
Yeah, whatever you say.
Right, fine. I'll ban X in the UK then.
You know, VPNs exist, right?
No, what in the far-right wizardry is that?
Never mind.
Elon Musk just lobbed a few grenades across the Atlantic. And guess who's scrambling for cover? Keir Starmer. In a twist no one saw coming, Elon, yeah, the SpaceX guy, is suddenly acting like Britain's unofficial monarch, weighing in on everything from tea etiquette to tax policies. He's taking shots at the whole UK like it personally messed with his Wi-Fi. But here's the kicker. He genuinely thinks he can fix things. With what? Tesla's bouncing over cobblestones? Buckle up. This roast is so British. It should come with a scone and a polite apology.
Mama always said to me, son, that English dude, two-tier queer Keir Starmer. Son, now listen to me. Life is not always like a box of chocolates. That Keir Starmer is as stupid as mud. Never have anything to do with the some bitch. And if you get the chance later in life, help the English people out and finish his reputation off for good.
Before we dive further, hit that like button and subscribe. Because trust me, you won't want to miss this. Elon Musk, the self-anointed savior of mankind, the billionaire who thinks everything from the energy crisis to social media chaos can be solved with a single tweet, has taken his hot takes to a whole new level. But this time, his target isn't just a random troll or a rival tech mogul. Nope. It's Keir Starmer, leader of the UK's Labour Party. That's right. Elon Musk, a man who's been in more scandals than a whole season of reality TV, has now appointed himself the UK's unofficial critic-in-chief. And his sights are set on arguably the most baffling politician in Britain, Keir Starmer. Why, you ask? Well, it's a bit messy. But to sum it up, Musk thinks the UK is circling the drain. And in his view, Starmer's doing a fine job of keeping the spiral spinning.
The biggest mistake in general that I've made, and I'm trying to correct for that, is to put too much of a weighting on somebody's talent and not enough on their personality. And I've made that mistake several times. In fact, I think it actually matters whether somebody has a good heart.
Let's start with the obvious. When Elon Musk speaks, people pay attention. He's the guy behind SpaceX, Tesla, and now Twitter, the ultimate disruptor. So when he decided to sound off on Keir Starmer and slam the UK's current state, he didn't just toss a couple of tweets into the ether. Nope. He went full volume, Musk style. And, as usual, he didn't pull any punches. He went after the UK's leadership, its direction, and especially Starmer himself. Why? Because in Musk's eyes, Starmer has become the ultimate political enigma. Someone so desperate to appeal to everyone that he ends up standing for absolutely nothing.
How do you choose your team? Based on what?
Well, I suppose honestly that it tends to be gut feel more than anything else. So when I interview somebody, my interview question is always the same. It's
what do you ask?
I said, tell me the story of your life. And the decisions that you made along the way and why you made them. And then and also tell me about some of the most difficult problems you worked on and how you solved them. And that question I think is very important, because the people that really solve the problem, they know exactly.
Let's talk about Keir Starmer, a man somehow trying to be the future of a Labour Party, while also being one of the most uninspiring leaders the UK's ever seen. If political flailing were an Olympic sport, Starmer would sweep the podium, gold, silver, and bronze. He's the undisputed king of saying absolutely nothing with a lot of words. Politically, he's like a boiled potato, bland, forgettable, just sort of there. His biggest skill? looking like he's ready to lead, only to give off the vibe of someone who couldn't coordinate a lunch break, let alone run a country. So when Elon Musk takes a swing at Starmer's leadership and the UK's general direction, it's hard not to see where he's coming from.
We obviously went through the available intelligence, the deployment of officers, because our first duty is to ensure that our communities are safe. And that's why I say, again, anybody involving themselves in this disorder is going to feel.
Let's break down why Musk is so fired up. And it's not just about Starmer's lack of leadership. It's about everything that's been happening under his watch, or more accurately, everything that hasn't. When you're leading a party that claims to stand for the working class, you'd think the goal would be to actually fix things. But Starmer? He's too busy trying to please everyone. He wants the backing of the left, but without doing much of anything to move the country forward. And the more Musk calls him out, the clearer it becomes. Starmer's whole persona feels like a masterclass in political pointlessness. When your entire strategy is about being everything to everyone, you end up standing for absolutely nothing. It's like making a statement so vague that no one can disagree, but also no one cares.
It ends up meaning absolutely nothing. It's like making a statement so vague that it's universally agreeable but entirely ineffective.
Labour activists in a centre for countering digital hate that was set up by a certain Morgan McSweeney, happens to be Keir Starmer's chief of staff. I wonder why Elon Musk has suddenly got a really strong interest in Keir Starmer and the Labour Party, because let's be honest, Barry, all of those statements that Labour MPs made about Donald Trump, all of those bizarre statements they made about Elon Musk, guess what? These guys don't really like that. They don't like being abused. They don't like being insulted. So they're going to call you out when you fail, like when you fail with these white working class girls.
Elon Musk's frustration with the UK's direction is justified. The country is battling a housing crisis, inflation, and economic instability, yet leadership looks passive. When Keir Starmer backs policies that sound good but lack real backbone, Musk, who's revolutionized industries, has every right to be critical. Starmer's leadership feels like an endless talk show, big topics, no action. He says the right things, but rarely delivers anything bold or meaningful. Instead of offering real vision, he lurks on the sidelines, telling the public to trust him. It's hollow politics that leads nowhere. Tensions rose when Musk warned of civil unrest after riots in the UK. Starmer dismissed it, but Musk pointed to real violence in places like Birmingham. Starmer's response? Fence-sitting, trying to please everyone, pleasing no one. His leadership is mediocrity in motion, pretending to act while doing little. His solution to crises? Talk more, decide less. When Musk criticized safeguarding Minister Jess Phillips, Starmer dodged the issue and shifted focus to the NHS, classic deflection. He keeps making vague promises, while the UK faces real challenges. Leadership needs bold choices, not more centrist soundbites. Now, Labour allies are pushing for tighter social media controls. The Online Safety Act is back, with calls for crackdowns on platforms like X. Some even want Musk prosecuted, without evidence. But Musk reflects what many feel. Starmer offers no real solutions. Inflation is rising. The NHS is crumbling. Housing is a mess. Starmer's answer? More bureaucracy. He has the keys, but won't drive. Meanwhile, Musk, an action-first entrepreneur, can't understand the inaction. Starmer's approval ratings are slipping. The public is tired of safe, centrist platitudes. The UK wants change. Starmer offers comfort. But comfort doesn't fix broken systems. Thousands have been jailed for speech online, yet Musk is the target. He's pushing back while the establishment tries to silence dissent. Starmer seems to think blandness is a virtue. But Britain doesn't need a neutral leader. It needs someone to steer it out of crisis. Starmer's caution is holding the country back. While he plays it safe, Musk is calling out the entire performance for what it is, a slow-motion disaster.